Imagine someone who brought so much joy into the lives of millions, someone whose face you instantly recognize, whose smile could light up a room, but behind that smile, there was a story of struggle, pain, and challenges that most of us never saw. This is the story of Richard Dean Anderson, a man who gave the world MacGyver and Stargate, yet faced his own heartbreak in ways most fans never imagined. Richard Dean Anderson is 75 now, and what happened to him is more than just sad, it is truly heartbreaking. Richard was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in 1950. From a young age, he was different from other kids. He loved to explore, to figure out how things worked. Some might say he had the mind of a problem solver even as a child. But growing up, life was not always easy. Like many, he had to work hard to find his place in the world. He started acting in small roles in the late 1970s and early 1980s. But it was not until he became MacGyver in 1985 that people really noticed him. MacGyver was not just another television show, it was something special. A man who could solve any problem with nothing but his brain, some duct tape, and a paperclip. Kids and adults alike were inspired. Richard became a hero, someone people looked up to. But here is where the story takes a turn. Fame can be exciting, but it can also be heavy. Richard poured himself into his work, doing long hours on set, performing stunts, and traveling constantly. Behind the scenes, he was fighting exhaustion and physical pain that no one saw. The cheerful, clever MacGyver on screen was hiding a real human struggle off-screen. Then came Stargate SG-1 in 1997. Once again, Richard captured the hearts of fans. He played Colonel Jack O'Neill, a brave, witty leader exploring other worlds. But even as the series thrived, his health started to suffer. Years of stress, long filming schedules, and the pressure of being a fan favorite were taking a toll. It was not just the physical pain. Richard has always been a private person. Unlike some stars, he did not want constant attention or gossip. He wanted to focus on his work and his family. But that meant he had to deal with many struggles alone. Fans saw the cheerful hero, but few knew about the real difficulties behind the camera. Many fans think being a star is all fame and fortune. But Richard's life reminds us that fame does not protect anyone from sadness, illness, or disappointment. Over the years, he stepped back from acting. Not because he stopped loving it, but because his body and mind needed rest. Watching someone so talented slowly leave the spotlight was painful for the fans who grew up watching him. What makes this story even more heartbreaking is how much he gave to the world. Despite his struggles, Richard Dean Anderson never stopped caring about his fans. He attended conventions, answered letters, and gave his time even when he could have said no. He inspired countless people to be creative, to think outside the box, and to never give up. But the reality is, the man who gave us so much joy was himself quietly carrying a heavy burden. There were injuries from stunts, stress from the fame, and the emotional weight of being a public figure. Every smile we saw on screen came with a private struggle that no one talked about. Now, as he reaches 75, many people reflect on what his life teaches us. It is not just a story of a star. It is a story of a human being who faced challenges with courage and kindness. It reminds us that heroes are not just the characters on television, they are the people behind them, often fighting battles we cannot see. Richard Dean Anderson's life is bittersweet. He brought so much happiness into the world, yet the path he walked was filled with hardship. His story is heartbreaking, yes, but it is also inspiring. It shows the importance of gratitude, compassion, and understanding that everyone we admire has struggles we might never notice. As fans, it is easy to focus on what we see on the screen, the clever MacGyver, the brave Jack O'Neill, but remembering the man behind those roles gives a deeper appreciation for the sacrifices he made for his craft and for us. So, when you think about Richard Dean Anderson now, remember more than the television shows. Remember the journey, the pain, the determination, and the kindness of a man who gave his best to the world, even when it cost him dearly. His story is not just tragic, it is a reminder of the hidden battles that so many face, quietly, every day. Richard Dean Anderson may be 75, and the challenges he faced are heartbreaking, but his legacy will never fade. He showed the world the power of ingenuity, courage, and heart. And even though we might not know all of his struggles, we can honor him by cherishing the joy he gave and remembering the human being behind the hero. Richard Dean Anderson's story is proof that sometimes, the brightest stars shine even while carrying the heaviest burdens.